Okay, tonight, especially since Christmas is around the corner, we're making all kind of toys for the kids. I thought I would do a simple whistle. Jim Mills was supposed to go ahead and do a demonstration, but he had to bow out, the health reasons. So I'm going to jump in here and make a simple whistle. I know Nelson, he, what was it, March? He made a train whistle in March. And this train whistle is 3 different tones. That's really fun to make. I'll tell you, good. I made a couple of them. And I know I had a 9-year-old come over and she didn't have much breath. And, you know, then we had a big kid and, you know, it gets a little louder. But and then my wife and I, we went to Lancaster, seen some shows and plenty of food there. We like to stay at Hershey Inns. That's right below Sights and Sounds. And they have a restaurant there. And the restaurant's a good place to eat. And anyway, they have all these knickknacks around. Anyway, they had this here sliding whistle. And I kept looking at it. And finally my wife said, why don't you just buy it so you can find out how it works. So I did $4 and I cut it up, wanted to see what was inside to make that. You know, you had to have a diaphragm to do this. But anyway, I cut it up and I made some of these. So that's cool. Kids really like these. I'll tell you, if you guys have kids, grandchildren, neighbors.
The parents don't like them, but they know.
I didn't say anything about parents. But then I was making one and I made a mistake and I cut the bottom out. And I thought, boy, this thing ain't going to be no good. Until I tried it, and it does work. But I take my thumb here, and it's kind of cool. One of those things. How does a whistle work? Nelson, you showed us how the last time, I think. But anyway, I think what happens is air goes into here in the chamber. This will be for my simple whistles. Goes into the chamber and then backs up and comes out of here at the sharp corner, and that's what makes a sound. I don't know if everybody agrees with that, but that's what I read. The larger, I'm going to do a 3/8 hole, but you can go ahead and get some that are, this here is like 1/4 inch. And the smaller the hole, the sharper the sound. The wider the hole, you can tell the difference. And of course the length is also, so take into consideration the sound. It's fun just to play around with it. Let me go ahead and I'm going to start. I'm just get my glasses on. And I'm going to drill a 3/8 hole. And I'm going to drill it about 2.5 inches in. It's always the fun part, watching this drill goes in. Right, John? I've got to clean it out. It does get a little warm. I don't like that high-pitched sound. But we'll finish it off here. Okay, I have a mark, 2.5 inches on the drill. That thing gets pretty hot. I'm going to put my live center in. I'm going to bring it up to speed. And by the way, it's just a simple whistle, 4-inch in length. That way kids can put it in their pocket and get a toot. Is this the way it's supposed to go, Yvonne? Yep. Okay, good. One thing about using a skew is there's very little sanding that's needed. One thing I forgot. Do we happen to know where the index pin is?
That's not it.
Oh, here it is, Bob. Got it. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to lock this in place. Guess this hasn't been used for a while. And we know that I went in there with the hole 2.5 inches, so I'm going to mark 2.5 inches there, and then I'm going to come back about a 1/2 inch or so in here. 1/2 inch, 3/8, 3/4 of an inch, doesn't matter, and I'm going to drill a 9/64 hole in there to go down to meet the 3/8 hole I made. I got this from Bill Croft. What size hole do you make on this, or don't you? Doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
Okay. It just gives another little.
What did I just make sure they were?
I'm just going to drill this down to meet the other hole.
That's
What?
about the size I use.
Okay. The purpose of that is, okay, of course a regular whistle just, and one with a hole in it. Kind of cool. Some of them have 2 holes. I guess you can put more. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but whenever you have a youngster around, try it and see what happens. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and make some decorations. You guys like that, don't you? You know, make some whistles.
We were just thinking about the recorder classes we had to do in music
That's right there.
in grade school.
That's exactly what they are.
Are you musically inclined?
You hear that sound? Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make some decorations. Bring it up to speed. We're going to burn a couple of holes in here eventually. One about there and one about there. I'm going to go ahead and round over the nose so we know where we are at. Well, we're about there. I think we can do is, one thing what I do is whenever kids come over, I go ahead and make them a whistle and they can tell me where they want a bead or a burn mark or whatever design they want. And the mouthpiece. You don't want it too big. And by the way, I've got about a 7/8 piece on here. You can go down to 5/8 by 5/8 if you wanted to. 3/4 by 3/4 is nice. Just something you can get your mouth down in there. Just an angle. I'm going to burn some marks in here. Now, Jim, he seen me do this at my shop. He doesn't like that because yours broke one time, right? And yeah, and it could get your hand down there. My problem is that I don't like to go up under here and do this. I have better control down here, but you know, you have to do what you have to do. What I do is I leave my arm over here, and then that way if I break away, it's away from the turnings. I burn her in good. This is piano wire, but it'll still, I guess, could break.
At the symposium, they were saying if you use stainless steel wire, it's less likely to break. If you use iron wire, when you heat it up, it gets tempered.
Oh, I can see that.
Then it will break. It
Yep.
could break.
What's anybody know about piano wire? What it is? My dad had a bunch of that, so that's why I'm using that. Don't know.
I'm just repeating what I heard.
Yeah. Okay. One thing nice about using a screw, you don't have to sand much, so I'm just going to start sanding at 400. Sand that, we'll just go with the grain. We don't need it that fast when we're sanding. And I'll go to, that was a 400, we'll go to 600. Guess we should take some of that sand and dust off there. And this will be 800. And I'm going to bring it up to speed. Take all that stuff off. And I'm going to use a paper bag. That's, I don't know what that is, about 1200, 1500. Just smooth her out at high speed. What I'm going to do is you put a finish on there now. I'm going to protect the ways with this piece of plastic. Okay, here it is. I'm going to use a foam craft stick. Buy them at Hobby Lobby.
What's your mixture again?
Oh, wow, let's see here. That's a friction point. It's 1 ounce to 1 ounce to 1 ounce of shellac, denatured alcohol. No.
Linseed oil.
Linseed oil, boiled linseed oil. Boiled linseed oil, 1 ounce. 1 ounce of shellac, the shellac itself. And then, yeah, and then you let it set for about a week. Keep shaking it, and it'll dissolve. And do you use it, Larry?
I use water.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it go a little darker or not?
No, not really. Like
No.
filtered water. Baby oil.
Then I'm going to bring that up to speed and just smooth it out.
What kind of wood did you say it was?
Oh, this wood I didn't say. It's cherry.
Cherry?
Yeah, this is cherry, yeah. Of course, you can make them out of anything. Okay, I'm going to lock this down again. I should have kept this up here. There we go. That hole I made, that 7/64 hole, I'm going to go ahead and put it at 12 o'clock because now we want to cut out our window. Like I said, it's a fun project whenever you have the kids around, and they can even turn it. Certainly can't hurt much. All right, now what I'm going to do is come back. Where's my tape measure? Okay. I'll come back from the end at 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to cut, take my mirror, take my coping saw, and I'm going to cut into this, cut into the hole that we made, that 3/8 hole. Now I want to cut that down until I can see, till I can see the blade. Just till I can see almost all the blade. Okay, run this support back up. Now I'm going to come back 3/8 of an inch. Now where did I get these dimensions at? And then what we want to do is, you can make a mark if you want, and just cut down, take the coping saw and cut right down here, and of course this will be out. I think I've, in the magazines and everything, did you say a magazine just...
The Wood Turning magazine, the latest one is published in Britain. They have a whole article on making whistles.
Is that right? You don't remember the degrees or nothing, did you? What this is? I mean, some people say that, some people say I read where there's 60 degrees and some say 45 degrees. Nick and I was at my place and we couldn't find too much of anything which would really work. So I just come up with this system and it works. What were you saying?
We cut the hole, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you throw it in the wood burner.
Well, basically I used to have to fool with it, man, oh day sometimes. But anyway, then I take a file, and I file this back. The reason why I'm filing is for two reasons. One is because they have all these marks, the teeth marks from the coping saw, and I don't want that. Hey, question. File, what kind of file is that? It's a tapered file. A knife file.
Oh, it's paper.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to see, I know from there, but yeah, it's kind of cool. I don't know where I got it at, probably from one of my dad's stuff when he passed on. Okay, I like to smooth that out. Plus, I think whenever the air comes out of here, it gives a sharper pitch. It's smoother, in other words. I can't prove that, but I guess I could by not doing it. This lathe is very steady. Okay. Now we can go ahead and part off. I have to remove the index pin. Now I know everybody's different, but I like to part off with my left hand because I don't want to get my hand in here with this jaw spinning. Practice, it works. And if you do it right, you have very little sanding to do here. Let's drop that down to the next fella. I'm not going to sand this. I'm just going to take that little nubbin off. When I'm at home, I take an air compressor and I blow all the sawdust out of here, but I got this homemade one. Okay, now we will make the fipple. I forgot to draw the fipple up here. Since I made a 3/8 hole, you can use a 3/8 dowel. Of course, a 1/4 inch hole, you can make a 1/4 inch dowel. And then you cut off about 1/3 of it. I got some already made because we don't have nothing. I usually do this on a vertical sander. You just hold that dowel right on there and it makes it nice. You can You can do it on a bandsaw. You can take a long piece. Yeah, take a long piece and put it right in the bandsaw, you know. But I usually cut them 1 inch and just hold it on the sander. You can also, you know, just sand it right on a sandpaper too. It'd take a while, but you can do that. And like I said, this is 3/8 hole, so I used a 3/8 dowel. And you got to play with it a little bit to get a good sound, the right sound. That's not it. That's not it. So, you want to sometimes sand a little more. Not doing too good. You know the feeling, John, right? It happens.
Hey, it fall apart.
Oh, you got something there. But not enough. Got noise, yeah. I don't know how many I made. I don't know how many I made, but I've had great success.
I did 6 in that field, so.
You want to go ahead and also want to sand. I forgot to do that. Sand all your burrs out of here. I was telling them guys there at the last officers meeting, and Bill, he come up with an idea. Why don't you just put one in your pocket and then you can just grab it out, and you know, one that works and all, and you know, the old switcheroo. I'm sorry, Bill, I didn't take your suggestion. You know, sleight of hands, huh? Well, it's better anyhow. So, from there, go ahead and put a little bit of, and John, before you leave, I do need some super glue, I believe, if you can remind me. And I put some super glue down here. Really?
Sticking your tongue on the frozen bowl.
And what I like to do is go ahead and also put some super glue all around where the spittle will go to protect the wood. Now, one thing I didn't do is that's hard to get to that bandsaw anyhow. Or is it ready to go and all, or? I failed to look.
Yeah, but I don't think it is.
You don't think it is?
Because it's pretty rusted up. I'm not sure.
Okay. What I'd like to do then, see what I do is I take it over to the bandsaw and cut this off. The reason why I left it 1 inch is so you can move it in and out and turn it and do whatever. But go ahead and just cut that off. And then I like to go take the super glue along here because, you know, a lot of spittle will get in there and all. So with that in mind, we made our time. Would anybody like to try to make a whistle?
That sounds good.
Thank you. I went ahead and I got some wipes up here if you guys want to try whistles, but you can make them all sizes, all shapes. There's all shapes and turnings here. You can make the nose big or little. And like I said, there's just different sounds of different whistles. Couldn't get that one. So,
What's the point of the fickle? Do you know what?
no.
Clearly, sound without it, but
Okay, you played an instrument or not?
nah,
A horn?
we all had to do recorder in 4th grade. That's the only thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it just, what would you want to call it? I don't know what the purpose of it is, except just to get your airflow in there at a sharp angle. If you take too much, see, I'm going to tell you something. If you make these whistles and it doesn't first sound, maybe you want to make take a little more out of that flat spot. And, now you can take too much out, then it won't work. But sometimes there's certain whistles, especially if you make a 1/4 inch hole, you want to just take a little bit out and keep trying it. And that's the other thing with that 1 inch. You got to pull it in and out. You got to figure out the exact place for it. But yeah, and then you gonna make some?
I don't know.
Oh, of course you are. Try different holes here. 9/64 holes, and yeah, you can. Can anybody play? I am not musically inclined at all. So that's it. You're welcome. I think I'll take my thing up.